What's up everyone, my name is RowdyGuy and welcome back to a new Q&A with me, Rowdy. As I promised, a new month means also a new Q&A. Now first things first, the next Q&A that I will be doing the first Monday of next month will be done on IGTV on my Instagram account because I think that platform suits this kind of style a little bit better than the YouTube channel that I'm running right now. I hope you guys appreciate that. If you're interested in it, please head on over to my Instagram page. I'll leave a link down below so you guys can find it over there. Now the concept will be exactly the same as you folks will be asking me questions which I collect throughout the entire month, and I'll also post like a little reminder roughly a week before the video goes live so you all have a chance to participate in this as well. Now with that out of the way, be sure to leave a like, subscribe and hit that bell, and let's head on over to the questions on the YouTube community page. Now the first question comes from Alex Alexandru and he's asking me, what is the best VR game that you played? I think I have to mention two here. I've always said on the podcast as well that my favorite VR game up to this date might still be Superhot, just because the concept of it works just so well. You know, the slow motion, the bullet time, just the art style in general is very simple, but it suits VR very well because you don't need that like high resolution that you kind of expect from a regular game. It's just polygonal, which works really well in VR. And then the bullet time is freaking awesome and it suits VR so well. That's why I love that game so much. But there's another title that I want to mention as well, and that is I think Lone Echo. I think that the way that the developers made that game, it's really mind-blowing because they did use all of those high texture graphics. It looks phenomenally good, that game. Really good storyline. It dips a little bit in the middle, but it picks up pace like on the end again. Really love that game. I think with those two, it's being said, like I really enjoy Superhot. That's like one of the ones that I always show to people when I'm demoing VR. And then the other one is Lone Echo, but that's if you really enjoy story-driven experiences like myself. I really love those. Let me know in the comment box below what kind of experiences that you guys really like in virtual reality. I'd love to know. Well, the next question comes from Gabriel R. He's asking me, ever got a pet? And yes, I did. I kind of do still. When I lived with my parents, we had a dog, and then we had two dogs after the first one passed away. So yeah, I grew up kind of with two dogs. We also lived on a farm, so we had chickens, we had a goat, we had turkeys, we had sheep. So yeah, there's a lot of animals that I've always been around with. Really a lot of fun. I had goldfish. Don't know if that really counts as a pet, but for some people it does. I never had cats. But then the two dogs now also, a couple of years they passed away, and we recently got a new, my parents recently got a new pet. Since I don't live with my parents anymore, I currently don't have technically any pets, but I still visit them as often as I can, and the dog really loves me. So it's kind of my dog too, you know. She's called Ona. I post pictures of her tons of times already. Check out my Instagram page, which I will be featuring in the next Q&A. Whew, 2 flies in 1 hit. Next question comes from Anonymous Officer. He's asking me, what made you think of doing YouTube? Also, when can subscribers or donators be able to play in-game with you? What made me decide, well, it was virtual reality. The rise of virtual reality was what made me think like, hey, this is something cool. That's something I want to show like to the people on the internet. Like, let me just try making a fun video. My first video went like insanely well. I made like a stupid review of the Hamido VR headset, which I thought was okay at the time. If I look back at it now, it's like, it's horrible. I can't even watch it. But I mean, it is a funny video, but that picked up pace so quickly. It got like 100,000 views and more on that video, I think, which was the first video I ever released on YouTube. So I was like, oh wow, people really are interested in this. Maybe I should do more stuff with it. So I started doing all those mobile VR applications, which people enjoyed really a lot as well. And then I got the HTC Vive. I started doing content with that, and I kind of like, you know, it was like that snowball effect of like things like happening, and it became more and more fun and more technologies, and I met awesome people that were all doing virtual reality, so that made it even more awesome to do so. So yeah, I'm having a ton of fun doing this. I hope you guys are enjoying that as well. But I think that is kind of what like got me into doing YouTube. The kind of concept of like showing stuff that I think is cool, that I love doing in a funny way, in like an entertaining way, so that it's something for you to enjoy, but also to learn something about it. Like if you enjoy this, like the storytelling medium, I really enjoy that with YouTube. Will subscribers ever be able to play games? Yeah, they do actually. I intend to start the VR Sundays with Rowdy. I intend to start that as well again, so that people can join me in game there as well. I'll probably be playing a lot of Rec Room Morale because a lot of people love that game. I love that game. Rec Room is awesome. Awesome community system, good friend system. So yeah, we're probably going to be diving into that fairly soon when I get the time again, because that's the main thing with me. I got a full-time job doing my PhD in neuroscience, and I'm also trying to run YouTube as well as I can, which takes up an enormous amount of time. Ask my girlfriend, she knows. But yeah, I'm trying to combine those two things together. So please give me some times, but the live streams will be coming back and you all will be able to join there as well. Next question comes from Mobile DK. He's asking me, are your boobs real? 100%, dude. 100%. Next question comes from Tessie Gaming. He's asking me, what was the plan before you decided on being a YouTuber? Explain your career. Well, I kind of still have a career. I mean, YouTube is not my full-time career, like I just said as well. I still have a full-time job being a neuroscientist, and I still intend to do it. At this moment, I still intend to do it that way, because at the moment, I can't make YouTube my full-time job. I know I almost have 100,000 subscribers, but that is not enough for me to be able to have a comfortable position doing YouTube only. So I will still be doing YouTube. I will still be doing my full-time job. Although I am thinking of maybe trying to do something part-time, combining that with YouTube, which would be ideal for me because I will have more time to do YouTube as more like how would I say it, more devoted. I can like maintain a proper schedule then when doing it without like sacrificing my sleep, and I will still be having a stable income from my actual job. That's kind of the plan that I want to do. So my career itself, it started, I did a bachelor in biology, molecular biology, and then I made a switch to a master in neuroscience, and I'm currently doing a PhD in medical imaging and medical sciences basically. So yeah, I got quite a lot of history with schools. Like I've been to 3 universities in total to get to the degree that I am at the moment. Really love doing that. I really love being a neuroscientist as well. It's an awesome position. It is also pretty awesome to be working at a university because they're quite more flexible than working in like the industry itself where you have your fixed hours. With me, it's a little bit more flexible to work around that. You do have deadlines almost constantly. You need to work towards those. But yeah, that's part of the job, I guess. The next question comes from Brony. He was in the last episode as well. He asked a question back then as well, and he's now asking me, have you ever had any Vive parts break or malfunction? As I recently have after 2 months, and it looks like a lot of other people are too. That sucks. That sucks. That sucks big time. I have not had any problems with my HTC Vive up to this point. I've had with the HTC Vive Pro, I've had one time. Then I had like a screen flicker, but apparently the cable itself in the headset that is a little bit more hard to get off, where the cable is actually sitting. That was a little bit loose, so I had to like plug that back in, and that fixed it. I did have problems with my HTC Vive controller. I actually still do. My HTC Vive right controller, I think I hit something one time pretty hard, and the trackpad of the right controller, it doesn't click on the right side properly anymore. So I really have to push that one really hard. I can probably open it and try fixing it, but I kind of not bother with that kind of stuff. 1, because I don't have the time to do so, and 2, because I'll probably break stuff doing so. So those are the only malfunctions that I really have had with my HTC Vive. I've had the 1st generation HTC Vive. I can't speak for the 2nd generation. I can speak for the HTC Vive Pro. I've also had no problems so far with the HTC Vive Pro. We also got a couple of questions on the previous Q&A video, so we're gonna jump over to those ones now. And the first one is coming from Daxia, asking me, how recent will you do Rowdy Time? And will you do anything else but VR? So I'm assuming that what you mean is, how long will I be continuing this? I'm going to continue this kind of Rowdy Time as long as possible. I don't see a reason why I would stop doing it. I am, like I said in the beginning, planning on doing it over on Instagram, trying to work that one out. But yeah, I am planning on continuing this for a pretty long time. I hope you guys enjoy this. Will you do anything else but VR? At the moment, no. I think that the focus of the channel is on virtual reality. I will be doing these kind of things, like more personal kind of posts associated with the channel, but I'll rather do those kind of things on IGTV or on Facebook, and still kind of trying to work out what is the best way of doing this. If you have any tips for this, any of you, then be sure to let me know and I'll try to work something out. The next question is coming from Sofia Lataczewski. I hope I pronounced your name right. Excuse me if I didn't, but you're asking me, have you ever helped creating a game? If not, would you like to? I have not. I have never actually helped someone creating a game. I have given developers tips, especially regarding virtual reality, of what you should do and what you shouldn't do. I sometimes do that even on Twitter when I see like certain developers doing something that I think is definitely not going to work. I'm trying to like notify them of that. So I do that. But I have never actually been physically involved into making a title for virtual reality or for any kind of game. Would I like to do so? Yeah, I would, if I would have the time to do so, because at the moment, I don't think that is something that can take up extra as well. The next question is coming from Brandon Borg. He's asking me, what game got you into gaming, Pancake, and virtual reality? For virtual reality, it's quite easy. It was actually the Oculus Kickstarter that I watched with the... Which was the demo? Tuscany. I think Tuscany. I saw that and I was like, wow, like I can go to Tuscany without actually going to Tuscany. That blew my mind away. There was not even a game, it was just a tech demo showing you that you could like see stuff in virtual reality. That was it. There was even no interaction with any of the objects, if I'm correct. Maybe it was a little bit, because I'm now correcting they were picking up something and throwing it away. But there was nothing really you could do that. But that's the thing that got me into virtual reality, for sure. And the game, the 2D game that got me into gaming, I think was when I bought my first console, which was an Xbox. And I got Halo. And I played so much Halo back then. I loved that title. I absolutely adored it. That's also why I'm so pissed at Microsoft when we were talking in the podcast about the new Halo title they were making. I was so pissed at them because I feel like they're trying to destroy a franchise that I absolutely adore. So yeah, I think Halo is the game that really got me into gaming. The next question is coming from Gabriel R, asking me, will you get the Tesla suit when it comes out? I would love to, if I have the money to buy something like that, because things like that tend to be quite expensive, especially if it's a full body suit. But yeah, it's awesome technology. It's definitely the future. Probably in a couple of years from now, everyone will be running around in one of those. Next question is coming again from Mobile Decay. He's asking me, what will Rowdy look like when he's old? Probably even more handsome. Next question is coming from Spy T Gamer. If you had a chance to make a major VR project, what would it be about? Also, am I a good friend? Of course. Of course you are a good friend. Everyone who's watching my channel is basically my friend. That's what makes this entire thing so awesome. So a major VR project, what would it be about? If I would ever make something that has something to do with virtual reality, a game, I mean, then it would be a story-driven experience. I would love to be involved in something that is story, help writing it, help developing it. I would love to be involved in that part, rather than making some kind of quick virtual reality game just to get some quick cash or something. I would much rather be involved in something that is worth your time, like something that leaves an impression. That's the main thing that I want to do. I want to make, if I ever make a game, I want to make a game that makes an impression. The next question is coming from Notnia. She's asking me, Rowdy, are you hyped for the Tetris effect? And that is, I believe, the new VR Tetris game that is coming to virtual reality quite soon. And yeah, I am quite hyped for that. I've heard a lot of good things about it. I think it was even voted one of the best VR games on the E3 game show. So that's quite impressive. I was a big Tetris fan when I was younger, so I'm guessing that I'll still be a big Tetris fan now. The following question is coming from Blake Birch, and he's asking me, are you ever going to go to Australia, or do you just like where you live right now? And I am planning on moving abroad. As soon as my PhD finishes, I am planning to move abroad. Where I am going, I don't really know yet. It depends a little bit on like where I find work in my career, where my girlfriend will find work in her career. So it will depend a little bit on that. At the moment, Australia is not on that list,
but that could change in the future. The following question is from Laura Lee Golden. It has a name that sounds familiar, so I think that she asked a question previously as well. And she's asking me, Rowdy, you are the fastest YouTuber of all time. So my question is, have you ever tripped while doing your intro? No, I haven't. I mean, of course, I had to do a lot of retakes, especially in the beginning, because I had to, like, you know, dial down on my speed so you guys could, like, see it. Because I mean, I am recording on 60 frames per second, but I can run way faster than that. So I have to, like, dial down on the speed just a little bit so you guys can at least see me coming in. Otherwise I would just, like, blip in, and that wouldn't be as cool, you know, for the video. So I run a bit slower for the video for you guys. Yeah, but I've never tripped yet. Next question is from The Cosmos. He's asking me, should I get an HD Vive if I already have an Oculus Rift? No, you don't. You really don't need an HD Vive if you already have an Oculus Rift, just because you get access to pretty much the same kind of market. Unless you want to get like an HD Vive Pro, but not a lot of people have the money to buy an expensive device like that. Alright, that was it for the YouTube questions. Let's head on over to Twitter. And the first one is actually my good friend Mike from Virtual Reality Oasis. He's asking me, will a boy ever be born who can swim faster than a shark? And I'm assuming that he's meaning not like a superhuman like myself, but just like a regular human, like Mike, for example, like someone like that. Because of course I'm the world's fastest YouTuber. A shark is like no match for me, you know, a shark. But yeah, I mean, a shark can like swim what, the 30 miles per hour or something like that, like 45 kilometers or something, which is, sharks are quite fast, especially in the water. On the land, they're not so fast, Mike, but in the water, they're quite fast. So what you're asking actually is, will a human ever be able to swim faster than 30 miles per hour? I don't think so. I really don't think that is possible. Unless we develop some kind of aquatic species that is mixed with a shark, but good luck finding volunteers for that. Next up is another friend of mine, that is Nate. He's asking me, have you ever had a dream, Rowdy, that you were so sure it was real? What if you were unable to wake from that dream? How would you know the difference between the dream world and the real world? Well, that's just blatantly copied from the Matrix, Nathy. Everyone knows that. That just comes from the Matrix. Yeah, try to come up with your own questions, buddy. Oh, I love doing this. Next up, we got Helix VR asking me, what do chickens think we taste like? Probably like chicken. I think chickens think that we taste like chicken. Everything tastes like chicken nowadays. Next up, we got my buddy Martin VR asking me, if you had to give up one headset, which one and why? That's a nasty question, buddy. Because I mean, I got my HTC Vive Pro for free, so I mean, I don't want to give that one up for sure. I mean, it's the best headset out on the market at the moment, I think. I don't think there's anything better. And I'm assuming that I can't pick like the Oculus Go. Because, you know, that's the least of the four that I wait, I have the PlayStation VR as well. That's making it even harder. So what you're saying is I can choose between the Oculus Go, the HTC Vive, the Oculus Rift and the PlayStation VR, and I have to give up one, but you're probably not gonna smile when I say Oculus Go, because that is maybe like the more logical choice to do, because you have the high-end headsets. But actually, I would not sacrifice the Oculus Go, because it's a mobile headset with a completely different market system. And the same applies for the PlayStation VR. So with those two, I can have access to two totally different markets. So it goes between the HTC Vive and the Oculus Rift. If I have to choose between those two, I would choose the HTC Vive. But wait, don't, fanboys, hold your horses. I'll give a very good reason. I'll give a very good reason why I'm choosing the HTC Vive. The reason I'm choosing the HTC Vive is solely and only for recording purposes. It's so much easier to be recording with the HTC Vive than it is with the Oculus Rift, because you can use the OpenVR plugin, which is not always available for every Oculus Rift title, unless you play with Steam. Then it probably is available. But I prefer to use the HTC Vive, because with the Oculus, even up to this date, you do not have access to the full
field of view that you're seeing in the headset, or even like a slightly cropped one. No, it's a very zoomed in upper kind of field of view that you have. You miss the lower part of your image, which is really annoying. The HD Vive has it a little bit as well if you don't use the OpenVR plugin. That happens as well. There's also some kind of crop that they use and like some zoom in effect, but it's much more prominent with the Oculus Rift. That is the only reason why I would pick the HD Vive, because it makes my life easier. However, if I'm not recording and I have to choose between buying either the HD Vive or the Oculus Rift, then my guess would be, but the thing that I would get then would be the Oculus Rift. Just because you have access to the same kind of market that the HD Vive does. You can play all of the big titles as well. With full compatibility, you have access to the complete Oculus Rift store. Also pretty nice, a lot of good titles there. And it's cheaper. That's the main reason. There's no technical differences or anything like that for me. The two headsets are very, very closely together, but one is cheaper, the other one is a little bit more expensive. One is easier to record with, the other one is cheaper. I'm gonna repeat the saying cheaper because I really like it that it's cheaper. So yeah, that's kind of my elaborate response to this question. Next question is my arch enemy Josh Dub asking me, how is Babby formed? He can barely type, the guy. Well, Josh, why don't you come over to Belgium and I'll show you. That came out wrong. All right, last but not least, we got the questions coming from Facebook. We got one question there from a very devoted fan on my Discord. She's called Megan, awesome person, and she's asking me, if you could introduce virtual reality to any historic figure from any time, who would it be? And what do you think their reaction would be to that technology? If I could choose one person, I think I would choose Leonardo da Vinci. I think Leonardo da Vinci was a visionary who developed so many technologies and so many awesome new inventions that showing him an invention like this would be, I don't think his mind would be blown. I don't think he would be like, I mean, he knew stuff like this was going to happen. You know, not that he probably invented virtual reality or something, but he was so far ahead with technology at the current time that I think that showing something like virtual reality to him would even push a technology like that even further forward. Like he's like Elon Musk times 10 of that time. It's amazing. If you guys are interested, you should look up all of the inventions that he drew out and never actually developed. Go and check that out. Go and look that up, because he was a brilliant mind, a visionary, much more than just an inventor and a genius. He was a visionary, very, very cool person. And I would love to show virtual reality to him. So Leonardo da Vinci, if you're watching, hit me up, RowdyGuyVR@gmail.com. So Leonardo da Vinci, if you're watching, hit me up on Twitter, you know, @Rowdy_Guy, and we'll arrange something. It's up to you, buddy. It's up to you. All right, that was it for Rowdy Time of this month. I hope you all enjoyed it. I know that I sure did, because it's a very, very valuable experience for me, because it allows me to interact better with you, and it also allows me to get some feedback from you folks so that I can improve this kind of format as well. I hope to see you all the first Monday of next month on IGTV, on my Instagram page. And if you got some questions, shoot. See you later.